Hello. You are watching an informative video to learn more about an English word. Perfect. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. Perfect. Definitions of perfect. Adjective. Having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics, as good as it is possible to be. Perfect.
What's good, beautiful people? I am DW, and I am here with the awesome Liam.
What's up, everybody? My name's Liam. My pronouns are he, him, and his.
Yeah, of course, and my pronouns are they, them, and theirs. And Liam and I, we've been kicking it since elementary school, and you are listening to What's Perfect Really podcast.
On this podcast, we're going to talk about moments in music and the impact those moments had on our lives, our friendship, and the whole world.
And our mission is to bring light to the perfect moments in music we think deserve a little more appreciation.
Today, we're going to be talking about a song called I'm the One. When I hear that song, I think of Justin Bieber, but it's an ensemble, and DJ Khaled is technically the figurehead of the song. So I'm going to talk about why I think the song is perfect. So let's get into it. And before we get into it, you have made comments in the past about we need like a theme song for this exact transition from the beginning of the episode to the meat of the episode. So the internet has a whole bunch of different like little things that you can just musically take. So each episode, I'm gonna try one. I'm gonna get your feedback if you think this is the appropriate theme song. I did not vet these beforehand. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about transition altogether, but I'm into it because I said it, and I was like, this would be great.
And I agree with you. And then when I tried to listen to them and pick the right one, I was like, wow, this is very challenging. So we'll take you through the same process that I went through. So, all right, here's option number one. Each week we'll try a new option.
Okay, cool. Y'all write into us. Please let us know because it could totally be we need to drop it immediately. Or it could be like, we love that. All right. So,
okay. Option number one right here.
I can't even hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Nah, I can't hear it.
Shit.
Yeah. See, this is already not working. You see what I mean?
Bad, yeah. See? I'm going to try one more time. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Uh-oh. No, that one sounded too dramatic. Or like,
and this is opening the next segment. Okay.
Yeah, it's not very hip hop. So,
it doesn't have to be hip hop, but I don't know. We're going to talk about that. That was a good attempt, though. Yeah. It's a good attempt, though.
Okay, we'll try another one at a different time.
What's the song about?
Okay, song is basically just a summer jam from a guy's perspective. All the artists are just taking turns explaining that the ladies love them. They're really awesome. They're the one. They have to kind of keep their distance from the ladies. At the same time, they're still like really hot and desirable. I think that's basically sums up the song.
What's Summer Jam?
It's
just like, are you talking about the concert? Or are you talking about
no? When I say Summer Jam, I mean like a song that you play in the summer. And really the content is almost like secondary. It's like the vibe of the song. You want to play it when you're driving around in the car. This is really what the song's about, more than the what they're talking about.
All right, a perfect moment for you this past week since the last time we've seen each other.
Yeah, so I'm not a big social media person. I stopped Facebook and Instagram a long time ago. I guess I still technically have a footprint, but I'm not active in it. But I tried Twitter again recently, and I think my understanding of Twitter previously was wrong. I kind of thought Twitter was like Facebook, where you interact with like friends and family. And then I tried Twitter, and it was just overwhelming. I was like, I spent a day on it, and I didn't like it, and I stopped it. I recently tried it again, and I wouldn't say that I'm a fan, but I think I understand it better now. Facebook is family and friends, and Twitter is for strangers. And now that I wrap my head around that little nuance, I think I appreciate it a little bit more. How about you?
A moment for me. I had it. You have it in your head, and then it flies away.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't that perfect then.
It's like, oh, man.
Oh man, every time.
Yeah, this is your segment too. I'm like,
it is
ready and prepared. I had a debate on which was the most perfect moment of my week. I thought about it for ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I went to, I want to say, I went to this place, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just not even talk about that. All right. It's like, let's not talk about that moment. Uh, a perfect moment for me this week was uh being able to, this is a mild one, but I think what was great is that, you know how you kind of can be all over the place. I don't know if this is for you, but I can be all over the place sometimes and like a little disorganized in certain aspects of my life. And sometimes when I'm doing specific work, I'm just like, oh, let me pick this up here and put that down there, and a little scattered. This week, for me, I thought that I had such a small window of time to get so many things done. And then I got all the shit done.
Oh, really?
And for me, that's like monumental,
Dope.
monumental. So I'm going to say that was perfect for me.
Listen, life's about the little things. Like, we're not all DJ Khaled, we're like in a mansion and every day is perfect because it's flowers and all that. Sometimes it's like literally just finishing your job. It's perfect.
Yeah. So that's the thing for me. It was small. Yeah, it was definitely small, but I'm basking in that little piece. Let's break this song down. What's
Okay,
going on
so
here?
first of all, how aware were you of the song before I picked it?
I heard it once or twice. Like I'm aware. I was aware of it. I was aware that it was a DJ Khaled produced song and everything, and I heard it a couple times. So
When you heard it these couple times, were you like, "That's fucking perfect"? Maybe
absolutely not.
Okay, all right. So
No.
it's just a me thing. All right. All right, cool. I would say I came around to it pretty quickly, but I think the first time I heard it, I was just kind of dismissed it as like a commercial grab by DJ Khaled. But
Like, is this a Target commercial? That's what you meant?
yes,
No?
it did
Okay.
seem-
All right.
But I have come to believe this is a perfect song, and I very much enjoy the song. And so, what is the song really? Sometimes we pick songs that are deep and have all this like
Mhm.
talent oozing out of it. This isn't one of those songs. This is really just like, it's the experience I have as somebody from the Northeast, and you spend this whole miserable winter. Probably people from Chicago feel the same way. People in wherever, different parts of the world where you don't have nice weather all year round. And then the spring comes and you get those first couple really nice days. This song to me embodies that feeling of like getting in your car, driving through your neighborhood. It's finally a nice day. You have your windows down. There's like kids riding a bike and you can play the song loud and like the kids like wave at your car as they pass. It just embodies, I think that's one of the best feelings in life. And for the people in California and Florida, God bless you. But I would still rather be there than in the Northeast. But I don't think they ever experienced that exact moment of the joy you get for the first really fucking nice day. And like the whole neighborhood comes out to like appreciate this moment. And to me, that this song feels like that.
That's a great description. Like this very vivid imagery. You took me there.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle for me with this song, but I'm going to listen to your case.
Got it. Okay. Was it, you lived in Chicago for a while? Was the same dynamic happen in Chicago that happens in like New York, Boston, Massachusetts? This winter into summer moment where like you finally get to step out into the sunshine again.
I do believe that it's the cold in Chicago is crippling, but that's also not Minnesota or Michigan, but it's one of those your face fall off kind of cold. So when the summertime comes, people go hard, so I would say yes then.
All right. So Chicago people can relate to this feeling. All right. So talking about summer jams, I think we all kind of agree with the general idea of it, but there's definitely some songs that stand out as like summer jams. To me, this is definitely one of them. But I wanted to give you a question to kind of, calibrate where your senses are with summer jams, and the listeners too. So I picked 3 summer jam classics to me, and I want you to rank these 3 summer jam classics. So one is the one we're talking about right now. It's Justin Bieber, I'm the One. To me, it's a Justin Bieber song featuring all the other people, but it's still an ensemble thing. The second song I got here that you can rank is Will Smith's Summertime. I mean, literally the title of the song says it all. And then the third one is Ice Cube's It Was a Good Day. If you had to rank these from your favorite to your least favorite, how would you rank them? And particularly with regards to summer, not just as a general song, but during summertime.
Will Smith, Summertime. It Was a Good Day, Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
The One, Justin Bieber.
Okay. All right.
For DJ Khaled.
Got it. Yeah, it's weird. To me, I think I like the Ice Cube song the most. It's just a song. I think Will Smith is still like the ultimate summertime song. Like it just holds the crown. But secretly, this is like my dark horse that I'm like, that's the song I secretly really, really like. Okay. All right. I want to talk about why I think it's perfect. And maybe I have to convince some people because this is definitely I think this is the most like movie popcorn summer blockbuster. You're
convincing the whole world except for the people on the song. The whole world right now.
All right. First of all,
dramatic.
I think the beat is fucking fantastic. I think it's just this little synthy bass catchy thing. There's like a little sample floating in there. I have no idea what the sample is. I didn't do enough research, but just kind of floats in and out of the song. And I think this song plays perfect to Justin Bieber's strengths. I think we can all agree Justin Bieber isn't like he's not going in the Smithsonian necessarily for just raw musical talent, but he has like a special place to me that is very important. And like this Justin Bieber strengths to me, this is the perfect song. He's like at the top of his game. This is Justin Bieber hitting a home run. I think the chorus is like one of the most catchy choruses that I like to hear.
You mind if I jump in on this one? So one thing I can agree with you on is that Justin Bieber, I think, is probably one of the things on the song that's a highlight. Like, I do think with the amount, when you talk about being on a beat and, you know, your voice being in there, being in the pocket in some ways that are nice, I think that this beat holds like whatever cadence or tone that Justin Bieber has. I think it's a nice mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to me, Justin Bieber is definitely the highlight of the song. We'll go into all the other rappers and their verses and what's good and what's not good. But what makes the song really perfect to me is exactly that. The Justin Bieber chorus along with the beat is just like a home run to me every time. Why is the song so catchy when I had to think of it? First of all, again, I think Justin Bieber does a perfect job. The chords that build the song, so the actual music that you're hearing is a chord pattern. This isn't the pattern, but the chords used are G, C, D, and E minor. So for anybody who plays music, particularly someone like me who's trying to learn guitar and has a very low talent level at this, if you learn these 4 chords, so many pop songs throughout history of pop music center around these 4 chords. So it's almost like if you learn these 4, you can play this song and you can play a million other pop songs. So it's our psychology is definitely gravitates to this type of musical notes, creating kind of like a commonality in a pop centered thing, particularly in Western music that we can all get around.
Let me pause you right there because I have some questions about this. I was thinking about the chords when I was listening. It's like, what makes a summer song? Like, because, you know, you're definitely going into major chords, the major chords, the light, fun chords, and then you say there's a shift to the E minor.
Yeah.
I want to go to my keyboard and play it right now so I can hear it, but I can't.
I thought you were gonna break out the keyboard. That's gonna be real dope. Our podcast is gonna step up. Like,
it's like let me play these chords real quick. But going into the minor chord, I wanted to ask you your thoughts on when you hear a song like Summertime and you hear Today's a Good Day. You hear these summer hits. Do you hear these chords in them, or are these common chords that are happening? Even when I think about Childish Gambino, I can't recall what's Childish Gambino's actual name.
Oh, Donald Glover. Yep, Donald Glover.
Right. Was gonna say it feels like summertime. You know, that's that one.
Yep.
And I think there's also vibes. There might be vibes on there. With like the vibraphone, and it's just the keys. But there's going into the minor. Is there something that's major, 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 minor, like the pattern? What is it that makes a summertime hit?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to explain this again. We are not experts in music theory, but so this is a G minor scale that the song is made in. And, you know, again, it's centered around these 4 chords, which G, C, D are all major chords. And then E is the minor chord. To me, including those like minor chords in it are what help take if you just used only the major ones, it can sound potentially a little too much like a Sesame Street, like a kid's song where it's just too happy.
Hokey kind of song.
The minor chords, to me, when you have those in there, they kind of develop a layer of like maturity and complexity to it that I think from like the human experience, we resonate with better. Again, a real music theory professor may totally listen to our podcast and be like, y'all fucking suck. This is not it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a good little shot. Even though I failed music theory in college. I failed it miserably. I mean, I was like, damn, this is tough. And then I took it again, and it's like I failed. I got a C+. It's like, so don't talk to me about no music theory. But I do remember major and minor chords.
Yeah.
So, but it makes sense. So
yeah, other songs that use the same chords as this one are like Andre 3000, Hey Ya, the Lumineers, that song, Ho, Hey. Remember that song? Oh, hey.
Maybe. It sounds familiar.
Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama. There's countless. This is just such a commonly used chord progression that it makes sense that a really catchy song is going to use these same exact chords.
Is this in the Bill Withers Lovely Day?
It might be. I can't, I can't be sure that I'm correct.
All right. Yep. Okay.
So there's kind of some music theory as to why the song is so dope. I'm trying to like really make my case for the song being perfect.
Okay.
But again, I can't get away from this whole thing. When I listen to the song, like I get to daydream in my head. And I'm 39 years old. So I've passed this kind of like youthful energy, right? That happens when summertime comes out. But it takes me back to these experiences where I remember being young and like you're going to a cookout. And it's like finally nice out. And it's like all your friends are there. And like, oh, the whole neighborhood's showing up and everyone's excited. And then you have a crush on somebody. You're like, oh shit, they're going to be there too. And then you like need something as you go into this moment to like gain your confidence together and be like, I'm the fucking one. I'm going to like find my crush. I'm going to be funny, witty. I'm going to have like a joke on the spot and it's going to seal the deal. And to me, this song it makes me feel like that is happening every time I hear it.
Okay.
Can you relate at least to the feeling? Maybe if the song doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, no, I think the song, the feeling, the vibe of the song is almost like it gives you, here's the word again. I love it. Again. Shout out to Jalen Rose. Irrational confidence.
Yeah. Exactly.
It gives you this confidence. Like, I have a couple dollars in my pocket. I may not have 100, but I got like a strong 60. I can move some. We can move some hot dogs. We can move a lean bay, like we can.
Notice when I described the feeling I had, it wasn't like the feeling of like the successful cookout, me snagging the girl I had a crush on, because that never happened. But it describes the moment I felt going into the cookout with the limitless possibilities of what could happen. Not that they did happen, but this is how I felt going to the cookout.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So if you're going to a cookout and you're trying to like ask somebody out, play this song. I guarantee you at least get in the right mind frame for where you need to be. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else that makes it perfect for you?
I feel like as a big picture sense, I hit on what it is.
Okay.
But I want to talk about the artists that are in the song. And in particular, I feel like this is a Justin Bieber song. When you hear it, do you hear it? Not, I've already tainted your thought process, but do you hear it as a Justin Bieber song, or do you hear it as just this collective ensemble?
Well, I do. So I do hear DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is so robust on an album. And that's what I think actually makes the songs go. A really nice, robust voice. So even if Khaled is on for a minute or two, I'm already like, okay, this is Khaled song. Khaled has something to do with this. But I do think secondarily, the next person I'm looking at is Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
First person on it, the person comes in and ties the song together. I think the chorus is a strong, fun chorus. I don't necessarily think the verses relate to the chorus as much as they could. I think it sounds like, to me, which happens most often now, and I wish it were different in some respects, I think when people really want to nail the song, they are in the same studio at the same time. When they want to nail the vibe, they want to make sure everything is cohesive, stuff like that. It sounds like people sent their verses in, didn't think about their verses in accordance with each other, didn't really think about the chorus. Like maybe they got half the chorus. The chorus wasn't done when they got their verse. And then they started rapping and they're like, I'm gonna use this reference. And then do you have same references that are happening in different verses? And it's, if y'all were in the room at the same time. Now, if they were in the room at the same time doing it, then that to me makes it even, like, how did you do this?
So you're right. I did do some research and it's all recorded separately. There was no cohesive nature of how the song was developed.
That's what the song sounds like to me. And that's why to me it's incohesive. It's an incohesive summer song, and there's so many more cohesive summer songs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where it's like, it's just not, and it's not lining up for me.
Okay. So maybe it makes sense that I break it down this way. I'm going to look at the song as each individual performer's contribution to the song. I'm going to start with the big dog, Justin Bieber. To me, Justin Bieber is the equivalent of like an A-list movie star. He's like a Leonardo DiCaprio for music. He's like a Will Smith for music, or a Jodie Foster for music. Like, he's the name at the top of the poster. And for me, when I think of movies, I'm gonna try to use an analogy.
Because like Lil Wayne is on the song too.
But to me, I think Justin Bieber is the guy.
But the only white guy on the song.
True, you are correct. But let me flesh this out. Why? And maybe it's not that he's the biggest star, because I think Lil Wayne, you can make a case that Lil Wayne is a bigger star than Justin Bieber. But I think Justin Bieber executed what I wanted most to happen in the song. So when I think of like comparing Justin Bieber to a movie star, think of like Will Smith. So sometimes like Will Smith is going to do some artistic endeavor. And then sometimes he's like, I'm going to be a fucking movie star. I'm going to make I Am Legend. And I'm going to like, it's just like, there's no substance. It's just dope shit that fucking makes you happy to experience it.
Just a nonsensical action.
Exactly.
I do agree with you. I'm giving you a hard time on it, and I'm pointing some things out. But I do agree with you. Justin is the feature. Justin is holding the song. I believe. Yeah.
And to me, this song is the spotlight for Justin Bieber to be that movie star. It's same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, sometimes Leonardo makes these art films, and then sometimes he makes, I'm trying to think of like a big blockbuster one that he was in.
Titanic.
Yeah. It's like, and he's just a movie star being a movie star. And not many people can actually do that.
Titanic versus Django.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that says something, because I think the content of the song is very shallow, douchey. It's not douchey. Powerful content.
Liam, explain douchey. What do you mean by that?
So,
oh my gosh, you're burying yourself this podcast. Go ahead, climb out.
I think douchey has two meanings. I think there's like an actual
climb out. What is a douche? What is it?
So I think there's like a medical thing that I'm vaguely aware of, where it's like a way to clean a female anatomy. And then there's like a dude who's a douche, which is just like totally oblivious to their own like mindless toxic masculinity, and just moves through life oblivious to this.
Okay, so let me put this together for you.
Okay.
For the people out there, because we all have moments. The correlation between an insult having to be tied to the female anatomy is insulting. Two.
It's like the P word, calling someone.
I mean, we curse on here. You could say pussy.
Right? It's like calling another guy a pussy, and when you want to fight.
Or it's one of those things. But it's the same way when we say dick or whatever. But I'm spelling it out because I think we don't think about language as much. But I'm like, yo, don't bury yourself too much, because you can't climb out. And I don't want you to be that person. For a person who loves you, let me bring you back. Bring you back. All right. So continue. Do you have another word? Do you have another word?
Yeah, just shallow content without any regard for how shallow it is. Like almost thinking that the shallowness of it is the correct depth. And then everyone kind of looking at you like, yo, that's as far as you think life goes. But this is the song. But I think Justin Bieber has the right kind of skill set to actually make this still feel dope. Like I know it's shallow when I'm listening to it, but because I'm just riding with Justin Bieber and this collective group, I still feel great when I hear it. And I don't feel like I get too into the shallowness. I don't know. Like, I feel like a less skillful pop artist, it would just sound shallow. And you'd be like, I can't mess with that. There's nothing there for me.
Yeah, I do think the way that you're making the case, though, it brings question marks to me. Like, let me double take this song. You know, I do think you're making a great case. And I will actually say, when you said shallow, I understood you way more than when you said douche.
Ah, okay. It makes me think of, remember we did a song a while back, St. John, Monica Lewinsky.
Yes.
Which is different than this, because that one appears shallow on the surface, but as you learn more about the song, you realize there is complexity and depth to it. Mm-hmm. This song ain't that. This is the shallow. This is like the kiddie pool depth of music, but it's the funnest kiddie pool I've ever been in, and I would love to go back to the kiddie pool. That sounds weird. I don't even want to go down that road.
So you know what this reminds me of? Okay.
Save me, please.
Way to dig yourself out. Way to bring yourself back.
I jumped out of one hole and into the other hole. Yeah.
We all have moments. You better save me if I have one. What was I going to say? So this is what I think about with this song, based off of your description. It's like the slip and slide. Right. So you know that where you put it down on the ground, and when you're younger, you're like, I'm about to bust this shit out. Right. And at the end, if you're really getting with it, you have like some sort of cutout extra water pool or whatever that you're like, yo, we really did this. And then when you get older and you're college age and you're working with the slip and slide, and you're kind of like, that's a long way down. Mm-hmm. Like to get to the ground and slide, is it really worth it anymore?
That could be hurt.
The levels are so different. And let me tell you why. So Justin Bieber is like when you're a kid slip and sliding and you go into the splash, and then the rest of the song is the adult who's like, I have to get really drunk to slide in here, and then I'll get the bruises and the raspberries later. But that time I was really drunk and slid and missed the slip and slide. Yeah, that's what the rest of the song is to me.
Gotcha. All right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because Justin Bieber doesn't get problematic in his chorus. It's just like effortless chorus. I mean, it's kind of problematic, but not like the verses are. But long story short, to me, Justin Bieber is like the Jodie Foster of music. Like when Jodie Foster shows up, like, so Jodie Foster made this movie called Flight Plan. And it's just like a popcorn movie. And Jodie Foster is capable of all this amazing acting. But when she decided, like, I'm just going to make this popcorn movie, it was so great. And watching Jodie Foster on screen was just like magnetic. You're just drawn to it. You're like, this hits the right spot for me. So I just think this is Justin Bieber at the height of his powers, doing a great job. So we've kind of touched on this already. Like on a scale of the misogyny, there's a misogyny scale. It's 0 to 10.
Oh, yes. This is great. This is great misogyny scale.
Where does this song fall on that scale?
Okay. I love this question. You really know me. I really appreciate it. So this ranks. Wait, is 10 the highest? 1 the highest?
10 is like, I'm trying to think of a good thing. 10 is probably like some Eminem song
10,
where he's like talking about
Eminem or Nas song where they decide not
Uchi
to be.
Wally Wally. Yeah.
I would say it's probably. I'm gonna give it maybe a 6. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 6, here's why. It's not that there's, in comparison to the things that are said in the world, you know, it's not that powerful, but because it's a fun song and there's nuanced stuff in it, that's what gives it a 6 for me, because it's, you try to trick me into my own demise. You try to trick me to listen to the song and call myself bitches and hoes. That's what you did. For the trick, you get over the 5. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get over the 5 hump, you landed a 6.
Yeah, you put the slip and slide out, but there's rocks on the side. You didn't tell me about the rocks I was going to hit when I fell off the slip and slide. Okay. Gotcha.
Exactly. Right. And when my drunk ass wake up in the morning, I'm going to be pissed.
Got you. All right. I never thought of it that way, but that's a good analogy. All right. So speaking of misogyny, let's talk about the verses. One thing I do love about the song is I think you're right. And we can talk about some of the misogynistic problematic elements, but I think each rapper came up with a line that to me was one of the kind of cleverest lines of the 2017 year. And I just want to point out each one of those. So we'll start with Quavo's verse, which is the first verse. And he ends it with modern day Bonnie and Clyde is what they named us. Because when we pull up, he goes, brr, brr, all angles. And I love that because it's so many things going on at once. He's talking about like this kind of crime couple, which is romanticized in hip hop music. And then they're pulling up. And then the is both camera shooting from all angles and the Bonnie and Clyde reference to violence and guns. It's just shooting guns, all angles. And again, Quavo is the same thing where he's a celebrity with cameras and he's a gangster rapper that deals with violence. So I really thought that was an amazing, like all things at once. And he didn't even say shoot. He just said, fucking way to go, Quavo. Good job.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. So
that was my favorite part of Quavo's verse. The rest of it's kind of normal.
I actually like that Quavo opens the song. You know, like I think that's actually my favorite part of the verse too, is because when we pull up this, you say all angles. Like I think this is the double entendre that pulls up too when you're talking about pull up, snap, kind of thing, right? So it's very clever. I think the way it's landed is really nice. You know, I mean, modern day Bonnie and Clyde. It's a tired line to me. You know,
that's true.
And so even when I'm listening to it, so there's elements when I'm listening to it, Summertime, and it's like, Bonnie and Clyde again? We doing it again? Right? Okay. Continue.
And we're gonna get there, but you mentioned this earlier. Lil Wayne mentions Bonnie and Clyde too. It's just like the played out reference. Yeah.
Exactly. But then there's but here's this. Okay, here are the couples. And this is why when we talked about Cardi B's song, love song, like some Tommy and Keisha shit, right? That couple is not as notable, but is very relevant. And you're like, damn. Like I wanted to be on some Steph and Aisha shit, but instead we on some Tommy and Keisha shit. Yeah. That to me is the same reference, but it's well played. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when you go to Lil Wayne, it's Bonnie and Clyde, Whitney and Bobby. The things you're going to hear, Ike and Tina, Whitney, Bobby, Bonnie and Clyde. Wow. Is there any other reference that couple reference you're going to hear?
And there really isn't any. Those are the most celebrated romantic relationships in hip hop. And think of those relationships.
Right.
They're the most toxic relationships.
Right. Gosh. Okay. All right. Continue. So but that's what I said. It's the hidden hiddenness of it. I was like, that's why it's a 6.
I see. Okay. Cool. So, and here's to me this is the most clear part of the slip and slide with the rocks on the side. So Chance the Rapper to me, and maybe I'm totally unaware of Chance's actual persona or what he actually is. But I thought he was like kind of like a Christian rapper, very accessible. And maybe I'm wrong because when I hear Chance the Rapper, I feel like I'm listening to a different artist because he's talking about booty on the belt. He's talking about pulling girls' hair, holding the door for her. I was surprised to hear Chance say this in the song, particularly because I thought he's supposed to be this like kind of more neutral, safe artist. Okay, so here's the thing. Here I'm about to go. Okay, please. All right, you give me a green light to go on this one because I had thoughts about it. Okay, one, I think we're hearing every artist is a human. So we all have our human characteristics and we all have different thoughts. You know, I think when we brand somebody as something that, you know, it doesn't allow them to be who they are. So, but also like these categories of rap too. Oh, that person's a positive rapper. I don't want to listen to it. Can you hear the words? That person is a positive rapper. That means that person talks about positive shit. I don't want to hear that. Right. Rather than being like, or that person's a conscious rapper. That person talks about stuff that's happening in the world. I don't want to hear that. Right. But when I think also when we think about rap in general, it is conscious rap in a lot of different ways. I'm conscious of the environment around me. And so I'm rapping about this stuff. And so I think when we start labeling and sectioning it and all that stuff, it's rap to me. You know, but I think that we pocket people in different corners. And so when they come out of that corner and they become ignorant, quote unquote, ignorant or themselves in a different way, we take away the queerness of the people. We take away the color in them. Does that make sense? So when I look at this and I say, oh, this makes sense because Acid Rap was at the 10-day, the album that Chance wrote in 10 days and that blew up. Acid Rap, I think it was. Oh, okay. And it wasn't quote unquote positive Christian rap. It wasn't that. You know what I mean? It was Chance being human. Does that make sense? So it does, yeah. And I guess this shows that I don't know that much about Chance the Rapper, other than, you know, kind of my superficial, distant kind of perspective on Chance. So as much as those lyrics kind of surprised me with Chance, he said one of the things that I related to the most of any rap bar I've heard. So he does this whole part. Yeah, he goes, she don't got no bed frame. She don't got no tables. We just watching Netflix. She ain't got no cable. So when I rewind to my like living single days, and this is not a pat on the back. I don't mean it in that way, but I dated a lot for this chunk of time. And you inevitably always come to this point where you go to each other's homes. And I'm sure I've heard the same thing from women with, if I go to a guy's house and he doesn't have plants or books, like I'm fucking done. And I think that's actually a very good philosophy to have.
Also look for baby wipes. Also look at the toilet. You look at the toilet. There's indicators. There's indicators where I'm like, nah, I'm not going past this doorknob.
Yeah,
I'm good.
And this is an experience I encountered a lot where I would meet. And again, I want to be very clear that not having furniture or not having like a couch or cable doesn't mean what you're going to accomplish in your life down the road. It's not a reflection of like some sort of definitive thing that you're less of a person. But what I did find is like when I would meet a girl, sometimes I would meet amazingly MIT grads, like the whole thing. And then you go to their home and they have money. I know they got money and they don't have a couch and they just watch on their like MacBook Pro. That's like a 13-inch thing. They just watch TV on that and it's just a bed. And I just remember this experience like, oh no, this isn't going to work in the long run. Like, I just think we're in different places in our lives. Our priorities are in different spots. And, I just related to this line a lot, And in the song, he's like, well, what you going to do? Like, I'm still going to chill for the night. Yeah. So I related to this a lot. And
no, it's relatable. I think there's like indicators and markers too. Like I've been that person too, where your career is going up and you have a mattress. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a mattress. Thank goodness I have somewhere to sleep. You know what I mean? Or I'm sleeping on the floor, on a wood floor. So it's like I've been when you're in that space, but it's also like you ain't coming to my house. Nah, we ain't doing that. Yeah. I'm not doing that. But I think the relatability of this is completely relatable. Even when you think about the markers of people when you meet them, if they had dirty fingernails, that's a no for me. Don't come in the, and I understand mechanics. What do you do? Do you work on cars? No. Why you have dirty fingernails?
As a former mechanic, you can clean this. Like it's not a good excuse. One thing if they're at work or right after work potentially, but as a life norm, I don't care how dirty your job is, being clean is still.
That's what I'm saying. Dirty nails, that is an indicator that there's some dirty nails. I'm telling you. Okay.
But I would say this, if you're somebody that's looking for a relationship and a life partner, as kind of materialistic as it may sound, I do advise like get a couch, because if you're dating somebody who's also in the same mind frame and they come to your home and you don't have a couch, it's a hurdle to get past. That's tough. Like, like a couch really, it does mean something more than just a place to sit. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
But I really like that Chance the Rapper line. And then I think the worst verse of all three is Lil Wayne's verse.
Wait, hold on. Can I share the line that I liked of Chance most?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we're in the same realm. We're in the same lyric realm where I'm like, oh yes, that's definitely the one. When I met her in the club, I asked her how she felt. Then she went and put her booty on that Gucci belt. So relatable, like yeah, let's have this moment, So I mess with that line.
Yeah. Lil Wayne, I think his verse was the worst on the song. But I did love this, and I think everyone can feel like this. And again, I think this goes to like when I hear the song, like I feel good about me, the person. And there's this line he goes, I'm just flexing on my exes, which I think everyone can relate to in various moments in their life where you just kind of like feel like you're fucking dope right now. And if your ex could see you right now, they would be like, damn, that motherfucker is dope right now. You're like, I'm just flexing on my exes. I like that a lot.
It's a relatable bop. You know what I mean? Like the line flexing on my exes. I think at any point in time that feels as though it's a win.
Yep. Did any part of Lil Wayne's verse appeal to you? How'd you feel?
It did nothing for me.
Okay.
Nothing.
So
I wish it did, but they lost me at the Clyde Bonnie, Whitney Bobby reference.
Yeah, he just went.
I was like, this is. Oh wait, no. It wasn't even there. It was earlier. Earlier when it was. Bitch, you blow my high, that's turning gold to bronze. I don't even like that reference.
Yeah.
Even though when you listen to it, it sounds better than what I said it. I said it really dry.
Yep.
It has more character in the lines. I was just thinking to myself, you didn't think about this.
Yeah.
He was like, someone's throwing money at me. Let me get this verse and let me not connect the dots. It's the dots are not connected. It just,
Yeah, I think it was the least clever of all the verses. Mm-hmm. The other two artists I thought were much more clever, even if their content is misogynistic and not so great. But I think they were at least clever in how they did it.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, for me, the worst verse on the song is Lil Wayne. Then I got Chance, and then I got Quavo as my number one. I don't know if you had a hierarchy.
Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, and Justin Bieber. Yeah.
That's. I mean, I think that's. I actually, honestly, I think Quavo might be the strongest verse to me on this, because I think Quavo. It sounds. I'm not sure with Migos. I don't listen to their music a lot, but it sounds like this is up Quavo's alley. I'm on a party beat. I know how to party. I know how to do all the song, do all the sounds. Create the rhymes that create a good little party pick me up. And yeah. Quavo's verse on it is like, it sounds the most pick me up-ish.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. Good job, Quavo, with the asterisks, but still good job. All right. Again, just to rehash it again, I just think the song is a vibe. The content is secondary. It's the feeling I get when the weather's good and the song comes on. I'm all about it.
What do you think about the music video?
I think the music video is terrible. Like one of the worst music videos I've ever seen in my life. And with that said, like I like Tupac's I Get Around. Like I'm all for like summer cookout, like party videos. But I just think the world has moved to this like Instagram aesthetic for particularly like the female aesthetic or the feminine aesthetic that when you think of quality and quantity as a quantity thing, I don't like it. It just seems forced. It doesn't seem like any of the women necessarily like have any chemistry with any of the artists there, because I'm sure there wasn't.
Right.
It just seemed like they called up some like Instagram agency and said, send over 80 chicks with makeup on. And then they showed up.
So let's talk about talent for a second. Mm-hmm. I think this is when we think about when artists, there's great things about artist development now that didn't happen then, like when we're talking about 90s, even early 2000s and prior to. Mm-hmm. And what happened, when we talk about the music machine, putting people in, you have your public relations, like your media training, your singing training, your dance training, your performance coaching and training. There are these things that everybody goes through before they even make the album. So they're ready to tour. They're ready to do all of those things. And they put most of those artists through it. And you can tell. And I think that the difference, what was tough about that era in a lot of ways is that everybody couldn't get put on in that way. What's great about this talent era is that you could blow up and get put on, but your level of practice and your level of understanding what it takes to visually to prepare an aesthetic that comes across on camera or comes across in different ways, your understanding is much more limited, right? So if you had, for instance, the people in the video, so let's think about Tupac's I Get Around, or you think about Jay-Z's, a lot of Jay-Z with Blueprint, some of the Blueprint. Yes.
Or Biggie, what's the
Jigga Man Be Ballin'.
Yeah.
Hypnotize. You talking about Hypnotize?
Yeah. This like pool vibe. Yeah.
So here's the thing. So all across the board, generally, femmes just get treated nasty, in a lot of different ways in general in society. And then that moves into, we talk about misogyny in the videos. Mm-hmm. So all those things said, let's just move into the aspect of, if you have someone, there's a very big difference between having someone like a Megan Good in a video and having someone who is been featured, who's an actor who does a lot of videos, and then having someone that you called up and is like, hey, you never did a video before, can you hop in this video? But you never took an acting class, but you got famous this particular way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you're seeing in the video. There's a big difference. And I think there's a difference in the knowledge of the people who created the video to be like, this seems like a great idea, when it wasn't the best idea, because then you don't get the chemistry. So when you have people who have experienced acting, experience doing those things, when they quote unquote had the video vixen category, those were people who had experience in being on the shoots and knowing, okay, I know that I've got to get this feel. This is the feel that they're looking for. That's why they called me. Right. But I think that knowledge pathway is broken in a lot of different ways. And I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I'm not saying it's a great thing. I just think that it is.
Yeah. I think you're speaking to the mechanics behind like what I'm saying. It's almost like the girls in this video are, and not to shout it, I'm sure they're all perfect.
Girls or women.
The women in this video.
Thank you.
I'm sure they're great. So this is not an individual comment on them as people, but the way the music video portrayed them is more like I feel like this happens now in how femininity is presented. It's more about like the makeup than it is like the beauty of the actual person. And I feel like that has been prioritized at certain time. And like when you look at older stuff, of course, makeup and the whole aesthetic is a big part of it. But I don't know, like they like you're saying, there's this moment where someone would smile in a video, or like, I don't know, they would get hit with a balloon, and it would just be a more genuine moment. And to me, this video lacks those genuine moments that kind of make you connect to it. And the fact that it's a mansion on a coast, which no one will ever go to. There's no like, I want to see Justin Bieber and all these people at a real cookout, like
at a basketball
neighborhood park. Yeah, I want to see that
at a park. Like, why, the separation is so big. But that's why, to me, it's a whole bunch of things that are put in place to do something, not as if it's like when people describe, oh, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, or a multidiscipline artist, or something like that, versus an interdisciplinary artist. Right. And so this breaks down. Someone who's multidisciplinary, you have these multiple talents. And, like I'm an actor, I'm an engineer, I'm a lyricist, I am a cello player. An interdisciplinary artist, you can be all of those things. I am a actor, a celloist, an engineer, and you know how to use those disciplines together. You know how to blend them, right? So there's multi, and then there's inter, and here it's multi pieces.
Yep.
With no intertwining.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That's why I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
On many different levels, not only in the verse, and then also when you go into the video, when you're saying there's no cohesiveness between, they don't look like they're having actual fun.
There you go.
They're placeholders. It's a placeholding fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So one of the worst music videos, in my opinion, ever. I would love that they could just re-record it and just have it at a cookout, and I would be a fan. But okay. And another thing, I'm not a huge like DJ Khaled fan, other than like I just appreciate his existence. But he doesn't ruin the song for me. He still does his thing, but it doesn't like overwhelm the song. So good job, Khaled. Know where the right amount is. Don't go past the line.
Did you see when you went into the is it too late? Is it too soon for the YouTube?
No,
I'm curious
we can go
what
into
people
that.
have to say about that.
I'm just curious though, like when you hear someone likes this song, does that make them shallow?
I think it makes them human.
Okay.
I think it makes them human. Man, the songs that I like, that sometimes I won't say out loud. Because I don't think people will understand my ignorant. I feel like, what? Like, so for instance, here's one.
Mm-hmm.
For the life of, I think the introduction is so damn strong. And I've never heard an introduction since on a rap song ever that I can recall that is potent enough. But it is the mountain of misogyny, right? But it's the Jay-Z song that where he goes, I love bitches, rough bitches, that bitches, nut bitches,
Yeah.
don't matter. You're my missus, gold diggers with your eyes are my riches. Can't knock the hustle for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see how I know the whole thing?
Yeah, you got it. That's a tough thing to remember too. It's like he's doing some intricate rap shit.
But that intro, I remember every time I played the song, I had to play it 3 times because the intro was so interesting and dynamic to me. And I'm like, there could have been so many other words that you chose, but it made the song to me. It made the song. Is the song was the most misogynist, all of those pieces. But that intro was fantastic to me. And we'll never cover that song here.
Okay. I came up with the word to describe so douchey, we're off douchey, but shallow is kind of good. But I think the right word is cringy. Like, is it cringy to like the song? So I'll give you the example. When I'm driving around and it's finally that nice summer day and I play the song, I play it loud, windows are down. I definitely gauge who am I driving? So I live in an urban area where there's people standing on the corner on their porch. There's people in the communities who drive around. And sometimes I'm like, oh shit, those look like a bunch of cool guys. I need to turn this down right now. They're going to judge me totally. And then if it's a bunch of kids or just ladies on their porch, huh?
You can't take your ego can't take the weight.
I can't do it. So I have to turn it down. And then I turn it up when there's there's a bunch of kids on their bike or they're playing basketball. I'll bump it. Yeah. So it's cringy. I think the song is cringy and I just don't know how I feel about totally embracing it in public yet.
But I think if you played it in public, I don't know if people would if I played it in public, I don't know if people would be like, that's all right. I don't think people would be, that's that song if you played it. So for instance, if you played, here's another kind of character-esque type misogynoir all the time. Drake, for instance.
Yeah.
If you played that song is, Drake be having some hits. Drake is another story, but having some hits. That song with Issa Rae in it, in the video.
I can't remember. I just remember.
Nice for what? Is it Nice for What?
That sounds right.
You gotta, you know what I mean? That song, if you played that song, then everybody be like, yo, that's that song.
Yeah.
This song to me doesn't do it. Even if you play Will Smith Summertime Madness, some people would be looking at you. I've never heard that song before, but it sounds dope. Yeah. Just the way that it's flowing. And then everybody from that era would be like, that's that shit. And they'd be looking at you while listening to it. Yeah. And you'd be, you know what I mean? It would be one of those things.
Yeah. Because
this not to me.
Yeah. I feel like this song isn't cool enough. When I'm driving through my neighborhood and I pull up to the corner and there's thugs on the corner. I do not look cool playing this song. Or you know what I mean? Just young adults who I'm trying to impress.
Trying to impress
strangers that I'm trying to impress with my music selection.
The way. Yeah. Okay. So look, I have. Did you get into the YouTube comments?
I did. So I picked the YouTube comment. I think it's the best YouTube comment ever.
I imagine though, because so DJ Khaled is a character, so I imagine there'd be some comments under here. What we got?
There's a lot of people like, oh, the song is dope. I like it. Legendary song. There's a lot of comments, but the one that I really liked is it just goes, quote, DJ Khaled is the kid in your group who does nothing but still gets an A, unquote. So they're just referring to group projects in college.
Yes.
It's true. He's involved. He just gets to pick all the smartest kids in the class. And then he just gets to put his name all over that shit.
But then be like, look, but this is how what I appreciate about DJ Khaled. You'll be in the group and DJ Khaled, but I put y'all together. I saw the talent in you and in you and in you and in you. And we made this happen. Look what we built. You see what I'm saying, King?
Exactly.
So when you get up, now go do that presentation and let them know. You know what I mean? Because we here, we the best. You feel me? That's how I imagine with DJ Khaled would be in the group.
Your DJ Khaled version is pretty good. Good
Don't
job.
Don't suit me.
Listen.
All right. So look, but okay. So we did the I think the YouTube comment is exact. It's on point.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, because we went over this and I was holding the questions back. I was holding back. I'm like, ooh, let me not ask it. Let me wait. All right. If you're looking for a turn up for your summer house party, this is the person, this is the hype man that I need at my house party.
Mm-hmm.
Is it DJ Khaled? Is it DJ Clue? Is it Fat Man Scoop? Do you know all these people?
I do.
We'll give you some references. No, you know them all?
I do, yeah.
Who is that person?
So I'll tell you how I hold them in my head. DJ Khaled is like current pop.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Clue is like New York City, like kind of like, you know, hip hop, like more street, bad language, all this stuff. And then Fat Man Scoop, to me, I would pick Fat Man Scoop because I just think Fat Man Scoop would bring as many people under the tent and get everyone feeling good. Whereas the other ones would kind of turn off some groups and then other people would like it a lot. I think Fat Man Scoop would get everybody dancing.
I think that's a great pick. That's exactly what I was thinking. All I could see was Fat Man Scoop, Timberland.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And the shirt come off. Whatever I say, y'all say do. You know, I just immediately got hyped.
Yeah.
When I typed their name. All right. So DJ Khaled once got lost on a lake on a jet ski. They were driving this jet ski, boom, 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 wherever they were, and it got dark real quick. And there was no lights. There was no lights there. Still on this jet ski. Couldn't even see the water. I couldn't even see the water. It was pitch black.
Oh shit.
If you're in that situation, what do you do? I'm gonna tell you what Khaled did after, but what do you do if you're in that situation?
I mean, I guess you try to use your cell phone if that's an option, but I guess I would more just I'm terrified of sharks. Like I have an actual real phobia of sharks. Mm-hmm. And I would just be so scared to just be in this situation. I think I would freeze. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I'd handle the shark phobia. I don't care if I don't see a shark, just the thought of the shark being under the water, especially if the water is dark and you can't actually see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I might just take my own life in this moment just to avoid the fear of sharks.
Phobia, right? Yeah. That phobia must be really strong. Yeah. So this is what Khaled did. Went on Instagram Live. I thought that was a really smart thing. Like, call my wife. If you see this Instagram Live, call my wife. Tell her I'm out here. I'm stuck. But you can see the stages. What I thought was so interesting about it, it's laughable now because DJ Khaled is safe, right?
Survived.
But it's so funny because you see them on a jet ski. First of all, you Instagram living on a jet ski. Anyway. And then it starts getting dark and dark and dark. And then you see Khaled realizing it's getting dark. Like, I can't see nothing.
And so there's no horizon. It's not like there's an island off. He's out where there's your orientation is totally gone.
All I could see when I was looking at the video was it just looked like there were city lights and the sky was dark. And it was, I don't know where it was. It didn't look like a beach necessarily, but but whatever's happened, DJ Khaled used that last ounce of that battery. And it was like on Instagram Live, call my wife. Yo, if you know my wife, call her, get on, tell her I'm over here by this building, this, that. And you could just see the panic kind of set in a little bit. And I thought DJ Khaled handled it well. But we know like that's the situation. But I was curious what you would do if you'd be in that situation.
Gotcha.
All right, you ready for this next one?
Yes.
We talked about this briefly.
Okay.
So you're attempting to remix this song, or maybe you create an extended version of the song.
All right.
Would you remix extended version of the song? Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't, but I'm to hear the question. I'm open-minded. Okay.
So my thought, because it is a perfect song, but I'm thinking we talked about the verses. Mm-hmm. If you could remix or extended versus song, if so, like who goes on it? Does anybody come off of it? Does anybody go on it?
Yeah.
Do we add? Do we subtract? What do we do?
I think if you're going to do it, now this is like, I have the whole selection. So this is like too easy for me to do, or unfair advantage, but I would go all in on like the summertime aesthetic. So I would get Will Smith, Ice Cube, and Andre 3000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would just want to fully embrace like the summer mode.
That's a whole different song. Is it replacing everybody except Justin?
Or exactly. Adding? Yeah. All the rappers go, and Justin Timberlake. I mean, not just Justin Timberlake.
The Justin Bieber.
Wow. Shots fired. He would still do the chorus.
Okay. So that's what I have for the questions. I'm curious, is the question about Justin Bieber with your dad? What is the question about?
Yeah. So I guess in hindsight, so I picked Justin Bieber. Does my dad know who Justin Bieber is? But I could have picked any of the artists. Maybe DJ Khaled will also have been a good one to ask, but I did ask, do you think my dad knows who Justin Bieber is?
Yes.
All right, let's find out.
Do you know an artist by the name of Justin Bieber?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Of course.
He's like Jodie Foster of music. Of course, my dad
All right.
knows that.
All right, Liam. Most important part of the entire show. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
What's the most singular, fantastical moment for you?
So it's Justin Bieber's chorus, but a very close. Like, I mean, we're right at the wire. Is the brr, brr, oh, and I just like that too. But
Yo,
Justin Bieber.
I'm completely in 100% agreement about the fantastical moment because for
Okay.
me it was it was that moment for me. Like this makes the song interesting, but you know, if you had that line next to the Justin Bieber chorus, I think I would probably give it a listen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep, exactly.
so I'm with you on that. Where can people find and listen to the song?
This is everywhere. Again, you probably have to search for DJ Khaled as the artist because it's technically a DJ Khaled song. We'll link in the comments to the video. You can decide if you like the video or the video's trash. But anywhere you would stream music, you're going to find the song. It was a major hit.
No, I was going to ask you. I lost my train of thought, but what I was going to ask you is what year again did the song come out?
2017. So this is the same year like Kendrick Lamar had Humble.
Okay.
Ed Sheeran had Shape of You.
Okay. All right. So if you have any perspectives on this song that you would like to share with us, let us know by emailing us at whatsperfectreallypodcast@gmail.com, or you can share with your stories or tag us on Instagram at whatsperfectreallypodcast. Did you talk about Sovereign tagging us on Twitter?
No, yeah, we have Twitter, and Sovereign, the producer of a recent episode for Hell on Earth, retweeted us. Thank you, Sovereign. We're big fans.
We're excited. Round of applause. We're excited. We follow you on IG as well. So that felt like I was on a mountain when we got a retweet, even though I'm not even on Twitter like that. Yeah. And as you know, we invite you to take what you want from the podcast and leave what you don't, because ain't nobody perfect. Peace, y'all.
Hello. You are watching an informative video to learn more about an English word. Perfect. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. Perfect. Definitions of perfect. Adjective. Having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics, as good as it is possible to be. Perfect.